this vast, ever growing, ever advancing, relentlessly developing world, innumerable phases and transitions of knowledge, expectations, ambitions, and converging technologies have given the rise. In this advent, there must be a standard science and technology, there must be a standard spirit, which has culminated into various these forms which are existing now and which are yet to be developed. And that is what we want to say: imagination, creativity, animation and multimedia. In each and every walk of life, in each and every stage of universal development and civilization of mankind, everything was inceptively conceptualized, visualized, materialized, communicated, then crafted and drafted in technological and tactical forms and put into practical usage, setting into a relentless race of development and advancement today is based on these things only. God created everything by His imagination. But that is not a fertile, groundless, baseless, mean imagination which artistic people and hypnotic people used to imagine about themselves and other things. It is framed, well-structured, symbolic, multi-dimensional, and it is something conative. In Shastra they used to call it Sankalpa, and in English it is known as conative. It is a conative designing skill and will of God by which He has fashioned the universe. So, the same world, it has come into existence. The mankind and evolution of species, they have been fashioned and designed. And the civilization era of human being that started with inhabitation, domestication, accustomation, mechanization, sensing and artificial intelligence, different phases of this knowledge, everything has passed these four major steps. One is by means of imagination. Just to imagine what you want to become. Imagine what you are. Imagine what are the deficiencies. Imagine about a comparative style of efficiency with your deficiency. So this type of a multifaceted and multidimensional imagination is the starting point. What is the problem with the students? How to develop the creativity is the essence of today's thing, apart from which we are going to talk about the future and fortune. Future and fortune is of three types. One is as per the modern analytical systems of what we call statistic study, strategic study, logistic study and logical study of various other growing industries. We can make a scientific action plan of it is what we call futuristics or futurology. Yes, I can imagine if the same thing is going like this uninterruptedly, how will be the future and fortune? This is the first study. Second thing, future and fortune of an industry is entirely different from future and fortune of the individuals or group of people dealing with a particular task. It is individualistic and specific approach. For example, there were a lot of companies which were closed at the time of recession. Likewise, lot of companies were also closed at the time of production. When the economy is flourishing, at the time also there were loss reports, there were closures, there were pre-closures, there were work reductions, but not in a major scale. So anybody not capable of governing themselves, they can close their shops even at the time of progress and productivity. Even at the time of crisis, lot of people are surviving and they are planning to survive. So future and fortune of the industry is entirely different from future and fortune of a particular group, particular language or system or particular team or a particular individual with unique features and characteristics. What I want to say is, there is an eternal glory, there is an evergreen phenomenon, there is a perennial source of a shower of joy, peace and prosperity if a person has unique features. A person who is one among 1 lakh of people, he will be thrown away. He is just a service provider or a programmer, he will be thrown away. A person who is one among thousands of people, he will be withheld. But a person who is one among few countable members or myriads of the society, he will have eternal fame and gain. Most of the people getting into the industry, either IT or multimedia industry, they are just a service provider or silent carriers or those who are enslaved by the technical pattern and the design of the work that has been entrusted to the media. So without developing actually future and fortune is evergreen for people who are unique, who are challenging, who are challengeable, who are not compromisable, that people they have evergreen glory, which is not there with most of the people. So the second thing of future and fortune is dealing with an independent or individual's efficacy and technical dexterity by which the person can become evergreenly glorious. The third future and fortune is making your own future and fortune. How fortune is automatically made, how future is automatically made is entirely different from how you can frame your future and fortune. So the first study is future and fortune as per the natural inclination of the time flow based on the industry, its development, growth and existence. Second thing is individualistic and specific based on molding your own inimitability or uniqueness by which you can have evergreen glory. And the third thing is very simple, you have to make your own future and fortune. The third thing we want lot of people to support. You see, you must not just think about there is no future for my industry, there is no fortune for me. You have to make fortune and future. There is nothing known as future. Future is what you think and fortune is what you make. So future is based on conceptive identity, based on crisis reduction, risk reduction, management, collision management, imaginary studies. We are prepared only for fortune. If misfortune comes, how we should behave, what are the savings, what are the alternate ways of survival, we don't know. If it works out, we can live. If money comes, we can be happy. If it does not come, what are the savings, what are the alternative ways of survival and development, that is not taught. It is not only for multimedia, it is for all industries. So, considering it as a divine art, God imagined this world. He visualized everything by his tapasya or penance, and he framed, graphically designed and molded this world. Morphologically he structured the creature, and geographically he has made the planes and structures wherein we can inhabit it in the world. And he has made everything for us. And what are all the multimedia tools for us? We have Shravana, Darshana, Lekhana, Patana, Adhyana. These things are multimedia tools. Script is what we know by Lipi, what we call in Sanskrit. So that is the first thing. Shape is the form of a person, and sound, you know that. So multimedia is a science that deals with study of concepts and informations which can be covered and processed in the formation of sound, shapes and scripts. This is known as the definition for multimedia as per the Vedic grounds, as per the systemic grounds. So Drishya, Shravya, Lipi Rupa Parivartitam Jnanam or Parinamitam Jnanam, that is what we have to define about multimedia. And in this area, whenever you study about anything, it will create some sort of natural utility in the society. Anything that creates a natural utility in society, how industry develops, how technology develops, everything starts from utility. If you understand about a concept, comprehension of a concept or comprehension of a base of a concept, even though automation has not come, mobility or transport was conceived earlier. Transportation was conceived earlier, then wheel was also a supplementary tool for that, then gradually this automation or automobile industry that came into existence. So at least a partial, selective, fragmental view of the usage of any commodity, that is the starting spirit or the starting spark of any development. So first is the comprehension of a partial or selective view of a component or compound. That has resulted in creating on utility. Utility has increased the need. Need will increase the application. This application, need and utility will increase demand in the society. Demand urges the person to go for more innovation. This innovation boosts the creativity to result in technical implications. This is how all industries develop. So now it is also recyclable. Demand increases technology. Technology creates more utility increases more demand. So for studying the multimedia's future and fortune, we have to understand this food cycle. Just as the food cycle for normal consumption is manifested in biology and various other schools of study, utility and productivity in the society, emerging society, existing society and expected society in the future, that is created in the formula by which we have to go through. One is utility, then need, then application, they create demand. Demand urges the person to go for creative tools and innovative temper and innovative boosting. This is the proper way of study. And what is the use of this multimedia industry, where it is applied? If we cannot understand that thing, we cannot create new opportunities for new people. So, four things. You have to create the fortune I have already told. You have to create a future I have already told. By which we have to create a base for two things. One is, by understanding the foundation principles of multimedia, you have to create new designs, and new designs should create new opportunities in the society. But if 1,000 people are going to the multimedia services or multimedia mere studies, only 1 or 2 people are going to deal with the foundations of multimedia. If you understand the foundation of multimedia and compare it with the need of the society where it can be applied, for example, I am just visualizing just my car's way. There are a lot of auto security softwares are available, and multimedia projections and virtual reality as well as model simulation structures are available in collision test, construction test, designing test, boosting and comparative advancement test in model making in automobiles and even ship makings and aircraft makings. We are seeing a lot of other benefits. Likewise, there is a model which is available for this auto security, whereby the car, it clearly